Hello and welcome to this Profit Protector Pro video. Today I'm going to be answering a frequently asked question. What repricing strategy do I set on my item? But I'm not going to answer that as literally as that, because at the end of the day, what strategy you choose is completely up to you. But I'm going to explain the strategies to you in a slightly different way, which will hopefully make them a whole lot more understandable to you. Now, understandably, the question, what repricing strategy do I even use, comes from Profit Protector Pro beginners, whether that be it's your first ever repricer, or maybe you've moved from one repricer through to ours, and obviously every software is going to be different, so you might not be sure what strategy to set. So that is completely understandable, as I say, and that's what I want to help you with in this video, and hopefully this clears everything up for you. So the first place you need to go is to the help section and then to strategies explained, and it gives you a list of all of the strategies within the software. Now, when you click on a strategy name, it will open up and give you a description of that strategy, what it is, and how it works. Now, as I say, I'm not going to sit here and read all of this out to you, because it is already available there on Profit Protector Pro, and it won't be, as helpful if I just sit here and read it out. So I'm going to explain it in a slightly different way, which will hopefully add to your understanding on top of what Profit Protector Pro can already tell you. So the first thing to understand with Profit Protector Pro, there are two main types of strategy: algorithmic and rule-based. So I'm going to tell you what the difference is between the two. Now, algorithmic, and they will tell you in this description if they are algorithmic or non-algorithmic, so therefore rule-based. Algorithmic has an artificial intelligence behind it, which offers a much more flexible approach to repricing. So when I say a much more flexible approach, the AI will learn the listing itself, and it's not learning on a general basis. It's not looking at what everyone's doing on that listing. So everyone that sells that listing is not looking at what everyone's doing and making a judgment based on general data. It is looking at your scenario specifically. So your situation on the listing, it's going to assess the listing itself, the movement of the buy box, patterns, competitors and what they are doing, in terms of how they're moving as well, with their repricing, and it's going to make very clever, carefully calculated judgments on how it should move based on all of this data. And if something was to happen along the way, so let's say you've won the buy box, and someone steals it from you, or you just happen to lose it, it will learn why this happened. It will take that into account when it works to win you the buy box again. That is the amazing thing with Profit Protector Pro. It doesn't give up, it doesn't give in, it will always work to secure you more sales and higher profits, and it will always try and win you that buy box as best as it can. So the reason why I mentioned that they are slightly more flexible in their approach to repricing is for something like this. So let's look at the balance sales accumulator. So this one will favor a match buy box approach. Now let's say that particular approach doesn't quite make it work on that particular listing. It's not going to keep matching the buy box if that is not the correct tactic to be going with on that particular listing. If it finds that you're not getting any results from just matching the buy box, it will then work to undercut your key competitors on the listing to try and secure the buy box that way. So it's going to slightly shift its approach as to how exactly it's going to compete in order to try and win that way. So if one approach isn't working, it will try and do it to win another way. And this is what I say, it's amazing to have that flexibility, and it can come in really, really useful, particularly on, well, to be fair, the balance sales accumulator itself will come in handy on most listings. So this is one that I would actually recommend starting out with if you aren't sure which one to set by the end of this video. So the balance sales accumulator is quite sales focused, but it is pretty much as profit focused as it is sales focused. It leans a tad more towards sales, just a teensy bit, but it is split more or less 50-50, 40-60 at a push. So the balance sales accumulator is great because it is sort of like the best of both worlds. There's multiple approaches as to how it's going to reprice, and it works well for, as I say, most listings and most scenarios. So when you set the balance sales accumulator, you might find that you need to go a bit more aggressive. Let's say you've got some very tough competition. You might even have Amazon on the listing or something like that. In that case, you might want to turn the heat up a little bit and go more aggressive. So these ones are very, very competitive, very sales focused, very driven to get the buy box. And once they will do that, they will work to bump the price up in small jumps to move the price up as best as it can to get you as much profit as it possibly can. With any of these strategies, if they happen to lose the buy box, they will learn and they will then try again to win you the buy box. Let's say you have a more quieter listing or one where you're happy to wait for the buy box. You might fancy a more passive profit focused strategy like the passive profit maximizer. It's going to wait for the buy box to fall to you. Once it has the buy box, it will then basically shoot up to your maximum or as close as it can get to it to help you maximize your ROI on that particular listing. Again, the strategies sort of go hand in hand with, so it's your goals and the situation on the listings itself that will help you make your decision. So if if you wanted to be completely sales focused, you just want to win the buy box and you want to make those sales, you can do something aggressive. Or if you had, as I say, if you're on a quieter listing and you're happy to wait for the buy box to come to you, you've got those more passive profit focused strategies. And then if you want the best of both worlds, you've got these balanced ones here. So that is algorithmic strategies. The next ones are the rule-based strategies. So they will tell you that they're non-algorithmic and they basically just do what they say on the tin. So match buy box, it will do just that. Penny under buy box, penny over buy box, match low price. You might just have a very simple goal for your listing, something very simple, very straightforward that you want Profit Protector Pro to do for you. You just want it to match the buy box. It will go ahead and it will do that. It'll match the buy box, hopefully win it that way, and it will keep matching that buy box price and making you sales at that price. And it is just a straightforward one-way approach to how it's going to compete. It won't try multiple routes to try and win. They are just very straightforward for if you have a very simple aim, a very simple goal on that particular listing. So it is completely up to you which ones you want to use. You can use rule-based on some of your listings and algorithmic on the rest. You can set different strategies per listing. So that is the difference between rule-based and algorithmic. And as I say, how you want to be on the listing plus how the listing is itself. If you want to be aggressive, if you're determined to win the buy box, a more aggressive strategy will be for you. As I say, a quiet listing, one where you're happy to wait, a more passive profit focused strategy. If you have a very simple goal, something straightforward that you want the repricer to do, a rule-based strategy would be for you on that listing. But if you just want to be told what a strategy to start with, I can only make a recommendation to you. And I would advise the Balanced Sales Accumulator for all of the reasons that I mentioned earlier in the video. And from there, you can kind of judge if you want to go a bit more aggressive, if you can be a bit more passive and profit focused, or you might just find that that strategy is the one for you from the get-go. Different sellers favor different strategies. Not everyone heads to the same strategy. All of the strategies are used by all manner of sellers for different reasons. But it is entirely up to you. But hopefully with this advice combined with the descriptions in the strategies explained page, hopefully it's helped you come to a decision on what you want to set. If you wanted to dictate what exactly Profit Protector Pro is going to do, there is a custom strategy section where you can basically build your own strategy. You just need to work through the questions that Profit Protector Pro asks you, answer them as you want it to reprice, and you can dictate exactly how it's going to reprice. So there are lots and lots and lots of options in Profit Protector Pro. Hopefully you find a solution that fits very, very nicely with you and your business. I'm very confident that you will. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at info@profitprotectorpro.com. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.